Hello everyone and welcome to ARW Weekly. I'm your host Gav, and with me tonight I have Tino, Matt, Jateen and Jonathan to go through a couple of issues that around the club over the last week. There's only one place to start, I think, and it's transfers. Well, transfers, but one thing I really wanted to hit on was the club's approach to transfers over the last, say, week or 2 weeks, and the silence emanating from the club. Is silence golden, or are we in trouble here? For what it's worth, I like it. I'm going to nail my opinion to that mast. I do like it. I like the way, because there's no doubt we're doing business, and we're just doing it quietly. But Jonathan, I'll come to you first. Are you in agreement with me that you like it, or is it something that you'd like that little bit more information to chew on?
I'm kind of in two minds, really. There's no doubt it's better for everyone that all the work is done behind the doors, because it's not a case of there's nothing been happening the last couple of weeks. I've no doubt we all know the two players that we're talking about, but there's been a lot of work been done behind the scenes of both of them. And there's no doubt that the club after the Van Dijk saga, the club have tightened down the hatches, and there's almost like a complete blanket ban. The shutters are definitely drawn down. You see a lot of the journalists, they're kind of changing their mind. There's a lot of guesswork happening. It's probably for the best, but there is the inner part of me that just likes to know. I think the way society has gone, especially with social media, etc. Everybody likes to know stuff instantaneously, and we don't want to feel left out of the loop. But look, if it means that we get our two targets by staying quiet, I think it's more than willing a sacrifice that we're willing to take.
Yeah, it is. And I think one of the things is when we don't have information as a fan base, we just get really nervous.
We do. It's almost like there's nothing. Fools are out there thinking that there's nothing happening when that's clearly not the case. But like, it just leads to the whole drama and the whole mayhem that is the Liverpool fan base on Twitter, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like when Peter Moore tweets, someone jumps on and goes, "What are you doing tweeting? You should be signing players."
Exactly.
Like that. Yeah. At 25 seconds it takes means you can't sign players today.
And you know what? It's as if like these lads online are nearly convinced that Peter Moore is doing this on purpose because they failed at another transfer. And now he's just trying to be humorous. Matt, you jumped in there, so I'm going to stay with you. We do get nervous. A lack of movement, or like Salah signed. I think it was about. It might be 3 weeks to the day. I think, is it? It's in around that. It's close on that. And ever since then, the nervousness has just gone through the roof. And some of it can be founded, I think, because we have gone with transfers and it's ran, and then we just end up doing something stupid and it doesn't happen. But are you happy with just like radio silence, and when you need to know something, you'll know it?
Yeah, absolutely, mate. I mean, it's not just been like that for the last couple of weeks either. I reckon it's been like that since Klopp's come in. The only things they tell the journos now is either one, something that's already done, like when a Mane or a Genie comes in out of nowhere, they release it, or two, if they want to release something to like a PR type stunt. So when you look at just after January, after our big run, that was when we started hearing from the Paul Joyces, etc., that we've got all this money to spend in January. And I don't think it's any coincidence that it was just to kind of appease the fans a little bit. So, I mean, I love it. I mean, I love Twitter's a fucking crazy world. I love that type of stuff. Honestly, I'm obsessed with it. They just seeing people lose their shit because it's just because they don't know. That's all it is, because they don't know. You've got a fake ITKs coming out left, right, and centre. I love it. I mean, I jump all over that. I'm a transfer whore. Like I still think we'll sign both the players, but until we actually do, I don't want any press release, no statements, nothing until it's actually done. I mean, that one we released for the Van Dijk transfer, that was released on purpose, as we all know, to stop the bidding, and it was a massive mistake. I don't want any of that, nothing, and that's how it's been. So now there's no PR games. You've still got the leaks though, and the leaks aren't from Klopp's team. They're from the business side of it, I think, down the London office, or I think it's in Old Hall Street in town. You got the leaks out of them too still, but Klopp's shored up his his training staff now and his coaching staff. There's nothing coming out there, and nothing official really.
Yeah, if there's any leaks going on, you see, with so many staff at a football club, you can be tight knit within that kind of first team group or coaches group or stuff like that. But to keep everyone quiet, yourself, any workplace, if something happens, it trickles in all the time. But
Melwood is tight though. Melwood is tight now. I don't think there's much coming out of there. As I was saying, it's more the office staff. I reckon that's the way it's going.
Yeah, it could be, but there is little bits and pieces that, if you were to believe certain people, it are coming out. But I look at it and I just think, when it happens, it happens. But Jateen, I'll come to you next. I think I know where you're going to go with this. I think you're a fan of this. I think you like this nice, quiet business like Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely. As Matt said, going on Twitter and looking at some of the tweets that people put out there, you think, do they really and honestly believe the tweets that they're writing? Do they honestly believe that the club does not have a plan in place? Obviously, I want everything to be done quietly, privately. I honestly would love to just wake up one morning or all of a sudden there's a tweet from at LFC and we see a certain player is signed. Not basically following his flight and tracking his flight and his hotel room and waiting for the big announcement and saying announces. I would love where we have absolutely no idea of a player. Next thing, the club announces, there's the player leading. Thanks for coming. There's your player. I think earlier in the year, a lot of papers, and I think Matt alluded to it a bit in terms of sort of January, February PR in terms. This is the spending money that we've got available for the summer window, and these are our main transfer targets. And I think it's absolutely crazy. Like, why do we go out and tell the world these are our main transfer targets, giving everybody else a heads up on that? But it's the world has changed. Media, it's very difficult with social media. I think a good few years ago, basically 15, 20 years ago, the only source of information or sort of transfer news I used to get out of the Match and the Shoot magazine, which we'd get once a week in South Africa, and they'd have a little transfer section in terms of each little club and say, this player has been linked, and you go and try and find out something about that and how far we've come from those days where you basically only found out about players being announced once they signed for the club. So I'm definitely old school, the Liverpool way. It's a new modern age, and I guess the club needs to best do that to get their business done.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. As I said before, the quieter the better, as far as I'm concerned. If anyone does think that the club, because they're quiet, are doing nothing, like, you need to have a word with yourself. Simple as that. Yeah. But Tino, my old friend, how are you?
I'm good. In terms of whether the club, like the quietness and everything's gone dead in terms of transfers, I'd rather see more transfer news, more the club communicating more and saying, yeah, we're after this player, we're after that player. I know it's never going to happen. I'd love to see it, but I'm not stupid enough to think that just because they're not speaking, they're not doing anything. But yeah, I'd like to see more transfer news because I want to be in the know. I want to know everything I possibly can about the club. But yeah, I don't know. It's just the only thing that annoys me about that stuff, about people, all the ITK accounts. Like, what's the dude called? The dude that DM'd himself.
I don't want the name.
You don't want the name?
No.
Well, the dude that DM'd himself and basically bullshitted and made everything up. That really frustrates me. But yeah, I'd like more information, but I'm not stupid, and obviously the club are doing stuff. It's just going to take time, and yeah, I think the quieter, the less information we get, I think indicates that it could be close. Like certain transfers could be close. So yeah.
So basically, what you're telling me, Tino, is that you want all the information to enhance your own Twitter career.
Absolutely, yeah. I want 3 million followers. That's what I want. That's the only reason why I'm doing this.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, at least you're honest, like, you know. But no, you see, the thing is, like, we go on about information, and the one thing that gets me on information, and we'll move on from this now, but the one thing that gets me on information is, if a club is giving out information, okay, they're not only giving it to the fans, they're giving it to every opposition fan, every opposition club, anyone that may be interested. And this is where bidding wars start, and clubs come in and throw a ludicrous bid in with no intention of following it up, just to make you pay more. In my opinion, on this one, Liverpool, if they are really quiet and they are working, they're directly talking to a club or two clubs or three clubs, and they're doing it behind closed doors where there's no hysteria going on. The only hysteria created is, you know, basically us, you know,
so
and everyone online, you know. But look, we leave it at that. Hopefully the silence is broken in a positive way over the next day or 2 days or 3 days. If it's any longer than that, people are going to start having to medicate themselves online.
If I have to go out and search for a fucking double eye emoji anymore, fucking double eye emoji, LFC. If I have to wake up one more morning and search for that, I'll be fuming.
I'm telling you, that's going to end up in the dictionary, isn't it? Just those eyes, and the description beside it is transfer. That's it.
I'm not even messing. I do search it.
I know, yeah. It's the stuff you can search on Twitter nowadays, and it's absolute comedy gold, you know. But look, I'm going to move on, and Jonathan, I want to come to you for the next one, and it's something that upset you during the week. It took a lot of time out of your week, and I don't know how successful you were in it, but it's the members' sale. Now, the members' sale is where the club open up their website for people to buy tickets online for certain blocks of games, etc., etc., etc. We all know how it works. Jonathan, tell us how a fabulous week you had on the Liverpool website.
Oh God, I've literally aged about 20 years over the last couple of days on the sale. The Liverpool ticket website is the greatest abortion of a website that ever existed. It's an absolute shambles. And a shambles doesn't even come close to describing just how bad it is. 3 days ago, we had the sales have been on the last couple of days. They've been for various sales have been open. So yeah, the first sale was for 13 plus cards. Website just absolutely KO'd. Yesterday, you had a certain amount of games for 4 plus games from the previous season. Website
What's the 13 plus? What's the 13 plus card? I don't know anything about members sales. I've never
basically
been
a 13 plus card is that you've been to 13 plus games on that card from the
previous season. So it's
just in one previous season,
yeah, just the previous season just gone by. So it's the first sale. Everyone who has 13 plus on your card is supposed to be guaranteed.
How many games can you buy? How many tickets can you buy though?
So it's one card that has 13 plus gets one seat.
But can you? I mean, how many games can you buy, like for the whole 19 for the season?
No. So the sale was for all the games to the start of this year up till December, except 2 games, Burnley and Huddersfield, which were just released to general sale. You had a couple of big games on that. You had the derby, you had United, Chelsea, Arsenal. But literally, I've spent where else can you go on to join a queue in a website for 3 hours and then it just KOs and says tickets no longer available or whatever? It was just from every point of view, from an IT point of view, from
does a pop-up of Lucas come on and just go unlucky?
It felt like that at times. it felt like that at times. It wasn't just me. Like, you just search over Twitter the last couple of days and everyone's in the same boat. Like surely to God, like the website has been a disaster for years and years. We've kind of got used to this, but obviously I really noticed it last year that, of course, you go back a couple of years under when we're, say, under Y or whatever, and you couldn't give tickets away for love or for money. Things have changed since Klopp. The bandwagon is back in full flow. Demand for tickets has got higher and higher, but particularly for the first round of sales for 13 plus, the club know exactly how many members are going to be on, and they didn't make enough. They didn't make enough. They didn't plan it properly to bear in mind the number of people that were going to be on, and the whole thing KO'd. You couldn't connect to the website. It timed out. Just was a disaster, and it's been a disaster the last couple of days. The one thing I will say is, to be fair to Tony Barrett, he's just taken on a new role. He did put out a tweet on Monday after the first sale, and said, "Look, we know there's a problem, whatever." That was the first time. Usually you get like, oh, the same old bullshit. Oh yeah, we've had a technical issue, blah blah blah. The thing will be resorted. Now, to be fair to him, he did respond, but the problem is there, and it has to be sorted, because it is a. You can't. How can a football club in this day and age have a website that just can't handle the traffic that's on it? It's the mind boggles.
Jonathan, to be honest with you, I wasn't going to put this into the agenda, because I didn't know who was affected by it or who wasn't affected by it. And then I spoke to you yesterday, and we were talking about it, and I could see how upset you were getting by it. Not upset. I think the word frustrated, extremely frustrated, is probably the word to use. So I basically put it into the agenda just to ask you, because, you know, you've been directly affected by it. I don't think any of the lads were in the sale during the week. I could be wrong. Anyone else in the sale during the week?
No,
they're all wolves. They don't go to games.
Yeah, no, we probably
not real fans.
They're all in an executive box with Matt. But the thing is, no, I literally put it into the agenda to talk to you about it, because I'm not asking you to be the solver of all these problems, but is there not a case of, like, when these fixtures are released, would it not be a better way to just email all these members, all these 13 plus members, and say, these are the games, okay, this is your code, you have 7 days to come in and buy the tickets, and after that we're going to general release them, and then the next block, the 4 plus, then you go to all those people and say, this is the games, you have 7 days, and you're not getting thousands and thousands and thousands of people trying to access a website, because the only reason I'm asking that is because if you look at the likes of music concerts, and everyone goes into Ticketmaster or whoever they're going to get these tickets, okay, they know what's coming. They know they're going to be absolutely bombarded from bang on 9 o'clock that morning when the tickets go on sale. And they seem to be able to sell all these tickets in 10 minutes. So as a football club selling, I don't know how many thousand tickets between now and December 31st, surely there's somebody there saying, look, lads, this is going to crash. We need to obviously up the technology we have, or look at a slightly different system. Jonathan, would that not be better for you?
To my mind, there's two ways out of this. Either they update their systems to take hold of increased capacity that they know they're going to have over the particular times for the sales, or if they want to be tight and they don't want to invest, stagger out the games over a longer period, and just break it down into smaller amounts just to manage that traffic. You just don't put all the big games on at one go and then let everyone bong in, and the whole thing goes up in a heap, and then you're just left, everyone's just pissed off. Like I nearly fucked the laptop out of the window a couple of times throughout the last couple of days. It's just like I got in then this morning on a couple of them, and I just put in my card details, and then the website just crashed and I lost all the tickets I had, and then you go back into a queue that goes for another 3 hours, and then by the time you get to that, you get a message on Twitter, oh, we're all sold out, thanks for your incredible support. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Really, so did they all sell out for the 13 plus? Does it ever get to the 4 plus?
Yeah, so all like there was 3 stages of sales over the last 3 days, and they've all been sold out.
But I mean, because after your 13 plus games, it goes down to what?
It goes down to 4 plus for every game bar 2 that were just this morning on general release. Doesn't that run out of tickets just on the 13 plus people? Or is not enough? Or did they save tickets for the 4 plus? They save tickets. Everyone that's on 31st is guaranteed a ticket. But the thing is, like, everyone wants to get in early to get the better seats, or to get a bunch of tickets together so you can go with your mates or whatever. But yeah,
you haven't got mates.
No, I'm a sad. I sit at home in my cave. But
so you guaranteed a ticket then? That's not too bad.
On the
but you're guaranteed a ticket you're guaranteed a ticket if
on the 13
plus. If the website doesn't absolutely go crazy on you.
But how long you got until it goes down to 4+? A day?
You had a day, but like the reality is, in 20 minutes, all the good seats are gone.
Is that so? That's the big thing, the good seats.
Yeah. So like you know, like I won't lie, this is going to sound like such a wool. Like you go on, everyone does it. There's a couple of everyone the same when the fixtures come out. You look at the big games. It's the Derby. It's United. It's the last day of the season, the first home game to a certain extent. You're straight on. Like a big bunch of us coming over for the Derby, so straight on there. Got my 4 tickets. You go to the game, so those games get smashed straight away. But then their wisdom, they put like the Burnley game and the Huddersfield game on general sale. So that was only this morning, and they got smashed out of it as well. So like now we're going to be scounging around on the late availability scales and scounging around for spares. So the fun continues.
I love seeing the locals lose the shit and say, bring that fucking windows ticket sales, bring back the window ticket sales.
Oh, like that's going to be so much more. So it's going to be so much more organised, isn't it?
Can you imagine travelling like 5,000 miles and just queuing up and hoping you get a ticket?
Well, look, the only thing is you've mentioned Tony Barrett there, and Tony, as you said, has just taken up a job and has probably gone, oh God, like it's not even.
That was definitely a baptism of fire there.
Yeah, baptism of fire. And look, anyone that knows Tony, I can't see him being anything other than proactive on it. So look, we leave it there with it. I just wanted to get an update from you because I knew it was a couple of days from hell for you with regards to tickets. And I'm going to move on. And Jateen, I'm going to come to you first on this one. And today is probably a great day to talk about this, but we talk about this all the time every summer. Football's gone mad. This is going to be the biggest window. The money is off the scale. But this summer really does feel like it's absolutely gone to a completely another stratosphere when it comes to money. No more so than 40 plus million for Sigurdsson, and looks like 50 million plus for Kyle Walker to Man City. It really has, Jateen, it's gone. The money is just unbelievable. I wanted your feelings on it, but I also wanted, is there one transfer basically where you thought, wow, that's way too much money? Or wow, that's a complete waste of money? Or can you see one in the future or this summer that you think will go ahead and will be just ridiculous?
I think I'm going to start with the one that I said, wow. I think it was in about 2002, summer of 2002, the transfer of Rio Ferdinand to Man United. I think he went from West Ham to Leeds and then from Leeds to Man United.
Yeah.
And he went for £30 million in 2002. That was 15 years ago.
Yeah.
I think in the current market, as crazy as the current market is, we sort of struggling to get £30 million for Sacco at the moment. So when Rio Ferdinand as a defender went for £30 million in 2002, I was absolutely blown away, absolutely astounded. Needless to say, I think it was worth every penny spent. Absolutely on his day, great defender, and he did what he needed to do and justified his fee. But I think that figure of 30 million for Rio Ferdinand in early 2000s really stood out for me.
Yeah, no, you're right. And in today's market, it's probably somewhere around what would we put it at? 80 million?
Yeah.
Would you go that far, in around 80 million for a defender?
Probably.
But then again, 80 million is going to become the norm.
Yeah. I think, it's. I think it was was it a transfer record at the time? It probably was a transfer record at the time.
For a defender, it was anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, for a defender, it was. So yeah, you're looking at, I'd say, between 80 and 100 million in today's terms. But it's just money of that magnitude was unheard of. I think it was only your European clubs where they were spending that big amounts of money. And it used to always be for an attacking player. It was either for Ronaldo going from the original Ronaldo, going from Barcelona to Inter Milan, or you're looking at your attackers, the Figo's moving, the Zidane's moving. Those were the sort of so for a defender, that I was really astounded and blown away. Yeah.
Yeah, it was one where you looked. I think he went from West Ham to Leeds for about 18 million.
Yeah.
And it might have been, was it a year or 2 years? Was it even 2 years? I'm not too sure. And he went to United for 30. And you're right, it was a massive amount of money at the time, and people thought, Jesus, where's this going? But like, you look at it now, and 30 million is just like, you're dropping 30 million on anyone. Tino, I know if I ask you what one is a waste of money, you're going to say Mbappe, so I'm not going to go there. Because Mbappe looks like he will be up for probably 125 million, and good God, that hole you're digging for yourself is unreal. But with one, can you see a transfer happen apart from Mbappe? Because I'm not letting you speak about him because you get yourself in enough trouble over that one. But can you see one happening this summer where you think that's going to happen and that's that money and that's ridiculous? Or have you seen one happen before where you thought that's a complete waste of money, and it was?
This summer, I think there was I know we always talk about Van Dijk and Keita, but I think the money being quoted for Van Dijk at points during this summer is just ridiculous. I mean, points that was saying like 70 million for him. I think that's ridiculous. But the thing that frustrates me is 30 million is becoming the norm in football for like even mediocre players. It's like you look, like you said earlier about Sigurdsson, 40 million or 50 million they've quoted, and it's like ridiculous. The one thing in terms of transfer that shocked me and not necessarily turned out to be a bad move, but Higuain from Napoli to Juventus for 75 million. In terms of what they're getting back for him, yeah, he scored quite a few goals and he was a top player, but at 28, 29 years old now, paying 75 million for him. I don't think it was worth the money. It frustrates me, and you've got to mention China as well. All the bollocks, crazy money that's been spent there is just ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I think with China, there is ridiculous transfers, but it's the wages that is being paid is absolutely colossal. With Higuain, I think what was happening there was I think Juventus seen a threat in Napoli and decided to protect themselves on that pedestal as the dominating force in Italy, and paid that money to kind of get themselves an upper hand, and thought it was worth it, that way. But I agree with you, 75 million on a 28-year-old is a bit rich. And you're seeing the same being touted around now for the likes of Aubameyang, who's I think he's 27, 28, but the thing is, he's being offered around for 70 million. They're basically looking, going, we're never getting a better deal than this, and they're trying to get rid. Matt, when it comes to transfers, I know you love the Twitter fume over them, but you kind of steered away from them, and you're fairly cool and calm when it comes to these things. But is there one coming in the summer where you look and think incredible signing or mad waste of money, or can you give me one from the past where again you really thought wow and it turned out good or bad?
For us or anyone?
Oh, anyone you want. Yeah, no, it's anyone you want. It's usually other clubs, really, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
when you do go well and doubt things,
because we don't spend the money. FSG out. This summer,
we're in trouble with that. Go ahead.
This summer is a fight between Lukaku and Kyle Walker, because both them fees are fucking ridiculous. Kyle Walker's an okay player. He's not going to save you fucking defence. He's not worth 50 million or anywhere near it. I can't believe Pep. I mean, people have said for a long time Pep doesn't really know his defenders too well. And he doesn't want them to defend. So, I mean, I'm not judging Pep here. He's a fucking class manager. But 50 million for Kyle Walker, there's so much better out there. I'm sure of it. I think that's a ridiculous one. And the other one, I actually spoke to my mate afterwards, my Everton mate, congratulated him on it, is Lukaku. For a man who can't fucking control a football, and they're paying
what
95 or 90 after the add-ons and stuff.
It looks like
crazy.
70. It's 75 with a possibility of reaching 90. I think they're the numbers I've seen. Now I haven't dug into it. But see,
even before he went in January, and that my mate was saying, like, he's a season ticket holder. He goes most games, and he's quite knowledgeable on his footy. And he was saying he doesn't rate him at all. Like, he'll be happy to see him go and get someone more adapt. He said he can get a goal in and around the box, which we know obviously because he scores a lot. But any type of team play or bringing other players into it or anything like that, coming for the ball, he's really lazy at tracking any of that, and he's shocking. And to pay 75 mil for that, I think it's ridiculous. I can't believe they've done it.
You see, the thing is, I'm quite wary on when I'm talking about United in particular, because as soon as you talk about United and you put any sort of negative on it, you're seen as bitter and you're seen as,
I am. Fuck him. I am.
No.
Biased
cunt. We are all biased, and United fans would be the same. I have friends that are United fans, and you can't say a word against United, I know.
I know.
But they'll handily talk. They'll handily talk negatively about Liverpool. It's just a thing. But the thing that got me was when I was thinking about Kyle Walker today was, I think Pep got stung over Dani Alves. All right. I think he thought he had him in the bag, and then it turns out Paris Saint-Germain came in and offered him a big load of money, and not that City wouldn't have been, but they offered him more, and he went there. And Paris is a nicer city to live in than Manchester. Let's be all honest. But I think he didn't want to be stung again, and he just said, right, that's the player. I don't care what it takes, and he went and done it. On Lukaku, what gets me is on Lukaku is they went for Griezmann, and they thought they had Griezmann in the bag somewhere in around between 80 and 90 million. They literally did think they had him in the bag. Okay, Atletico get a transfer ban. Griezmann, I don't know whether he meant it or not, but said no, I have to stick with Atletico. Different things like that, and he'd probably go down as in legendary status there because of that. Then they moved on to Morata, and Jesus, 3 weeks ago Morata was more or less in a United jersey at 60 million. All right, the deal was done, everything was done, and Madrid just went, no, simple as that. You messed us around with De Gea, now we're going to mess you around. And that's what it was, because Madrid wants
lazy going for Lukaku.
But this is my point. Why do you go from a player for 90 million, then you turn around and you go for a player for 60 million when you think you have it done, and then you go back to 75 rising to 90 for your third choice? Do you know what I'm saying? Well, it doesn't make sense to me. I can see where he can probably fit into their team because he's big, he's strong, he's physical, he's a bit of I don't know how much of an aerial presence he is.
I think it'll be like Ibrahimovic. He'll score the goals, but the team won't get any more goals. He won't improve their attack compared to what they had. He'll score the goals that Ibrahimovic. All right, he might get a few more than Ibrahimovic maybe, because they will just feed him all day. They'll lump it up to him and feed him, and he'll run in behind. But he won't make that team any more better attacking. No way.
Yeah, no, it's just strange to me that, like if I looked at Liverpool going for a 100 million player, and you could only imagine us going for a 100 million player and then turn around going, we can't get him, we're spending 60 now. Like, to be absolute carnage. And then to turn around and say, well, we can't get him, so what we're going to do is we're going to pay more for our third choice. That doesn't make sense to me. Why, if they value him at that, why wasn't he straight after Griezmann? It's a little bit weird to me. But look, it's their own business.
Someone was talking about this the other day. I actually disagree. I don't think people should go after value. You go after what the worth to the team. Do you know what I mean? And if they see Lukaku as a lesser player than Morata, but they'll pay more for him because players hold premiums. He's got a long contract. He's in the Premier League already. There's a lot of stuff you have to pay a premium on. Whether you rate him as a player or not, better or worse than the person before, is out the window when it comes to value. And I disagree. I don't think they should fall in order of transfer wages.
But if I said to you, Antoine Griezmann, and you can't get him, but you want someone similar, do you say Morata? and then if you say Morata, if I say to you, I can't get Morata, but I want someone similar, you definitely don't say Lukaku. So where's the plan? That's what I'm trying to. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that.
Who's
I get
next?
Their playing styles are different.
Yeah,
but I don't think you can pick up on the transfer fees being higher or lower. I think it just is what it is.
Yeah, well, maybe you're right. I just think that even the styles there just make no sense to me. But look, we move on. Jonathan, same question for yourself, really. A transfer is somewhere you think will happen that is great or bad, or one in the past that you've seen happen and thought it was good or bad and you were wrong or right. You know, is there anything that sticks out for you?
I can't go by without mentioning Lukaku. That for me is just the mind boggles with that. But look, you've spoken enough about that earlier. Another one that gets to me, it wasn't actually a transfer, but it was a bid, and for me, that kind of just hit that eureka moment that kind of realized, oh Jesus, the transfer market is really changed. It was a bid from Leicester last season for Troy Deeney for 25 million that was rejected. Like,
yeah, I remember it well.
That for me just epitomizes the way the game has gone. Like, Troy Deeney, he is no doubt he's a grafter and all that, but he's the biggest mucker that you could ever have in English football. He epitomizes everything that's bad with the old type of English football. Like, he's like he throws in the shift or whatever, but like no skill whatsoever, no quality. And to spend for the league champions at the time to bid that amount of money, and then for that to be rejected, just to me said, lads, this transfer business is going to go bananas. Look, we've had our own share of crazy transfers. Spunked away the Torres money on Carroll, 35 million, which was crazy. Another one, it wasn't much more the fee, but for me, it was kind of something we spoke about earlier. With kind of when do you want to know about transfers? Are you kind of one of these transfers that comes in last minute and it surprised you? It was the Robinho to City at the time, and that just happened on the last day of the transfer window. And
I think he thought he was signing for United, didn't he?
Yeah, the poor lad didn't know where he was. He was
everything was blue when he turned up, and he was like, "What is this?" Thought he was in the Avatar film.
Exactly. Yeah, I have my blue 3D glasses on.
Yeah.
That was kind of, I suppose, another one of these moments of, you know, the city billions coming in and changing the face of English football. But the poor geezer didn't have a clue where he was or what he was supposed to do. The blue could have been Chelsea for all we knew. But yeah, look, money talks. You can't. I know we sound like bitter Liverpool fans just harping on again, but for me as well, the Pogba deal, like, there's no way that player's worth that amount of money. I don't care, but
I read a quote. Sorry to quote Clutch, but I think I read a quote or a comment. I don't know where I've seen it. And basically, Mourinho's come out and said, "Look, the Pogba deal, it's yesterday's news. It'll actually be." It'll look worth it when this summer, the dust on this summer settles. I don't agree with him, but he's picked a nice little time to throw that in with all this mad money floating around.
He is, and considering there was a quote doing the rounds. You know, these old quotes that always get digging up, and we all have tweets that'll come back to haunt us or whatever. But he was at Chelsea when he was at Chelsea, kind of towards the dark days. I think it was his first spell at Chelsea, where Abramovich had kind of tightened the purse strings, and you had the dispute over the free transfers of Ballack and Shevchenko, and Mourinho wasn't getting his way, and he's harping on it. But United spending hundreds of millions on transfers, and just like pot kettle black. Look at them now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does anyone know much, like, follow Tranmere at all?
I don't. I have to say.
Okay, just me. But there was a really weird one for them. It was back in 2010. I think they were League Two at the time, and they had this young lad, Dale Jennings, and he was good. Like, I think he was 17 or 18 at the time. Yeah, probably 17, and he was doing all right in League Two. But
he went to Bayern Munich, didn't he?
Yeah, it's fucking League Two, and out of nowhere, Bayern Munich came and gave 600,000 for him and snapped him up, and he went over there. He played in the B team quite a lot. And then everyone was like, he's not going to make it. I mean, he was tricky, but he wasn't that good. No one knew why he'd done it. And then 2 seasons later, he went back to Barnsley for 295,000, and now he's just a free agent. He's just nothing. He's just gone to pot. He went to MK Dons, Barnsley, and now he's on the free. He's 24.
It just shows the other way football can go, can't it? But look, I'm going to move on a little bit because for Liverpool fans, football was back last night. Feels like longer ago than last night. I've just had a long day.
Did we drain you that much, Gav?
No, it's not you. Just the whole of today drained me. I won't go into it. But look, it was a 4-0 win last night. It was 4. I'm even doubting that. I feel like Grizz. It was a 4-0 win last night.
Who's that team in the red again?
Yeah. And what year are we in and stuff like that?
Munich.
No, it was a 4-0 win last night. Some good performances. I'm not going to go into it. We done a podcast on it last night, but I just wanted to go around just all quickly because we play Wigan tomorrow night, and I just wanted to get just off you. I just wanted to see the one player that you really want to watch tomorrow night. Jateen, I'll come to you first. Just the one player that you're thinking, please play. I just want to watch you play.
Thanks, Gav. Solanke for me. He came on in the second half. He was strong. He looked very settled already. Looked basically in with the guys there. He helped with, I think it was the second or the third goal. Good movement in the box. I think, I'm excited to see what he's gonna develop into. I don't think he will be a first team striker, but he does have the potential to come in and cover. So I think for tomorrow's game, for me, my one would be Solanke. Yeah,
good shout. He was involved in the third goal, I think, for Chiravella yesterday.
Yeah.
Good turn in the box, good shot, and the keeper parried, and Chiravella followed up. Tino, I'll come to you next. The game on tomorrow night. Which player do you want to see the most?
It's got to be Sturridge, to be honest. Not any of the youngsters that are coming through, like Wood, Bennett, Trent Alexander-Arnold, or whatever. It's got to be Sturridge because I want him to prove his fitness, and I want him to have a better season than last season. I want him to like take his chances that he gets by the scruff of the neck and just absolutely smash it this season, because his last few years haven't been the greatest. I want to see him. I want to see Sturridge more than anything. Just because I think getting on the pitch, playing minutes, maybe contributing an assist, a goal, or something will give him a lot more confidence. I want him. I want him to ideally be and turn out to be one of the best players we have this season, because I want him to prove to everybody and all his doubters that he hasn't lost it, that he can still hit it in the Premier League. So probably it's got to be Sturridge.
Yeah, it's a good show. I like to look at him the other night. If I was watching for Sturridge, I just want to see exactly where he plays. I'd be following him to see exactly where he is on the pitch. He was shown as playing up front the other night, but I thought he wandered around the pitch. Matt, tomorrow night, which player is the one that you want to see playing?
Well, I didn't actually catch the game last night, so it's a toss-up for me between. I'd like to see either Naby Keita or Virgil van Dijk, one of them two.
Get in.
And one's a bit youthful, like no. As I said, I didn't see last night, so Alexander-Arnold, want to see how he's progressed. I mean, we get to see the first team all year. So for pre-season, I like to look at the youngsters. I mean, obviously, I agree. I want to see Studgy do well this season, but I want to see some of the youngsters coming through, like Trent, and then Kent done all right, didn't he, last night, and Ojo? Is that right? Yeah. So any of them lot, really. Not one particular, just anyone who's on the peripheral of the main team who might break through this season. Like maybe Ben Woodburn as well. Let's see how he's progressing. Even though I don't want him to break through just yet, I want him to be given time for now.
Yeah, you're turning into Grizz now, where you just name all these players, and when they do something good, you go, "I knew he'd do it."
I'm going to tweet it out and put these eyes in there as well.
Yeah. Just keep throwing that stuff at the wall, and something will stick. Who have I got left? Jonathan. Who's your player to watch tomorrow?
I have to say, I'm a bit of a football nerd. I'm genuinely, I know it's only a stupid preseason game against Wigan, like it was against Tranmere there last night. But I'm looking forward to. There's so many players that I'm looking forward to watching. A lot of them are already mentioned. If I have to pick one, Oh, I probably Grizz. Nice to see him. I thought he had a decent first half. 45 minutes of football under him. He was pinging the balls around. He took his goal pretty well. I know you could question the keeper, but it's a big season for him, especially with the ferocious battle for midfield spots going to be next season. But yeah, no, looking forward to Grizz. Also Ojo as well. I thought he's quite sharp as well. So I'll leave it on those two guys.
Yeah, Ojo is an interesting one. He's always someone that when he comes on the pitch, I'd be expecting something from him. But this rumour of a loan deal has kind of put me off watching him, because you kind of feel like you invest time in him over the summer and then he disappears for a season. But no, all good shouts there, and I can see the arguments for them all. I suppose if there was one, I really like the Sturridge shout actually, because he was the one that intrigued me most the other night. But if I was to pick one, I don't think Salah's going to make it. He would have been mine if he does, but I want to see Henderson again. I want to see how on top of this he is. Because I've said on numerous occasions on the record that I fear for Henderson if he breaks down one more time. So I'd like to see him. Well, look, we're going to finish up last topic, and I just thought we'd have a little bit of fun with the last one. So this is how it's going to work. You have a day out. It's your day out.
Fuck.
You can do whatever you want on your day out because it's yours. And you need to bring 2 of the Anfield Road Wolves with you. All right?
You have to.
You have to, yeah.
Fuck's sake.
So,
nobody's picking you, Tino. Don't worry.
So basically, you're bringing 2 Wolves out for the day. So all I want to know is A, who you're bringing, B, where you're going, and C, how you think the day will work out. So Tino, I'll go for you first because you seem really enthusiastic about this. So I'm going to go for you first, yeah?
It's really sad. It's something that I've been wanting to go and visit for a while. But I'd have to go to Sweden to visit the Ice Hotel. Jukkasjärvi, is it?
No,
it's really quite sad.
Yeah, you're spot on there. That's exactly what I was going to say.
It's like 120 odd miles above the actual Arctic Circle, and the whole thing is made of ice. Like the beds, like there's even a bar that serves ice, like drinks in ice, like glasses and stuff. I'm really quite sad, so I'd probably go there.
Okay.
In terms of who I'd bring,
Sorry,
I gotta go.
You've tickled me with that one.
It's quite sad, but I've got to go Nats and either Jateen or Aaron, because they're the only people that haven't ripped the shit out of me out of you lot.
Self-inflicted.
That's an absolute terrible accusation to make against me. And for that, I'm going to move on. Jateen, I'm going to come to you next. So your day out, you can go wherever you like. You can bring 2 Wolves, and I want to see how you think the day will work out.
Okay, so back in South Africa, I absolutely love going to the Kruger National Park. Going through for a game drive, and the aim is basically going and trying to spot the big 5 there. So the 2 that I'll take, I think Matt's quite into his wildlife, so I'll invite Matt along, and the other one I'll invite along is Grizz. He can taste the local halal cuisine here.
Oh, good God!
do they have
is this a safari park? Like a safari you're going on?
Yeah. It's not a hunting trip.
No, it's a safari type park. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's a safari.
I've actually booked.
Okay, so just to confirm, Matt'll be fine. You know, Matt knows how to behave himself in public. But you're telling me that you're going to put Grizz on the back of some sort of Jeep.
And the red mankini.
Okay, with all these animals around them, and you're going to think you're going to make it through the safari park.
Yeah, I want to see who comes up better. Is it Grizz going to come up better? The animal's going to come up better. So
he's going to talk them into submission, I'd say.
Yeah, and then at the end of the day, having a South African braai. We call it a braai, which is a barbecue, where Yeah, with the local cuisine, some good meat, some pup sort of thing. Yeah, and make sure obviously it's all halal. Lots of halal. Yeah.
Keen for that, mate. Sounds good.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a really good one. Matt, I'll come to you next. So your day out, wherever you want, 2 lads with you or women, whatever. And how do you think you get on?
I want to go to Flamingo Land near. Do you know where it is? Tino? I was near you. Flamingo Land near Scarborough, because I haven't been since my mum and dad took me when I was about 10 to our little UK holiday to Scarborough. And I'll take 1 lad and 1 girl, Grizz and Tino. I want to say Grizz because he thinks he's a big hard man. I bet he shits himself and rides. Like, I'll get him on the pirate ship and he'll be fucking crying and screaming all sorts. Yeah. And then I'll take Tino because he can hold my popcorn while we both go on the ride.
Yeah, to be honest with you, when in our WhatsApp group, when Grizz sends in like a voice message, he actually sounds like he's on a roller coaster, or he's on he's on
the motorway ones. Yeah,
he's on the teacups. You know, he definitely sounds like something like that. No, yeah, that's another great one. Grizz in Flamingo Land would be phenomenal. And
imagine him on the top of a pirate ship.
You know what it'd be like? Do you ever see in these parks where you see couples and they have kids and they have these kids in these harnesses with a string behind them so the kids can't run away too far? That's what you need for Grizz. But no, it sounds like a cracking day, that as well. Jonathan, last but not least, well, you're not last, so I go as well just for the crack. But cool. Where are you going? Who are you bringing with you? And is the day well?
So I'll all Jay's food talk about food is made me very hungry. So there's only one man into the group that's going to teach me about proper cuisine. So that's Grizz. So he's probably I'll let him decide, but he'll probably take me around to Uriah Rennie's house or some former ref's house around London on his deliveries.
One of his contacts, yeah.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So we'll be going around in the car because he's never out. Is
it just you and Grizz?
No,
fuck that.
No, that's just for the cuisine. We're going to need some entertainment as well. And I know listeners won't get it or whatever, but we have our own WhatsApp group here, and Ben put up a voice clip the other day of a VVD song, and honestly, I am still in stitches laughing from it. So some of his accents that he comes out with, and some of his songs are so off the wall, but they have me in absolute bonkers. One of these days, someone's going to tap me on the shoulder and work and say, "What the fuck is wrong with you? What are you laughing at so much?" So yeah, I'll just bring on some Ben as well for entertainment. That VVD clip he put on the other day, absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, good show. Ben is he's really good for impersonations and stuff. And Grizz is going on a lot of trips, isn't he? You know what? He's like you know when you just look at someone and you just wonder like what's going on in that person's head, and you're never gonna work out actually what's going on. That's him to a T. But
well, I'm sure he'd bring me to some very nice cuisines, and it'd be like stopping in every little chip shop along the way, I'm sure as well.
Yeah,
he wouldn't go hungry.
No, you definitely wouldn't go hungry. But like, to be honest with you, friends of mine and even some family that listen to this podcast really like it, which is good, and always come back and say that Grizz chap is just completely mental. So yeah, you can't argue. You can't kind of have a counter argument to it because he is. If I was having a day out, my day out, as you probably know, is going to involve drinking. Flamingos and safaris and all that. Fuck off, to be very honest with you.
Where's my bag of cans?
We'd probably be hallucinating at the end of the night and think the zebras walking across us and stuff. But 2 to go with me. I think Ian would be one of them. I get on really well with Ian. He's a similar sense of humour to me, and because he just doesn't care about most things. So I think Ian would be one, and I was going to say Grizz, but I'm not giving them all these days out. It's like no, it's not happening. So just to see how many bottles of wine he could put down him, before he went more mental than what I seen last night. I'd have to bring Andrew. I'd have to bring Andrew. Absolute stone mad. I've never seen a chap go from mute to mayhem in such a short space of time. So me, Ian, and Andrew, and what I'll do is I'll just gather them both in Dublin, and we just jump on the ferry, and we just go on like a booze cruise across, and probably back, and we just have to crack, the three of us. So yeah, that's probably the way I go. But no, that was a bit of fun. Just the thought of Grizz on the back of a Jeep in a Safari is killing me. But look, lads, thanks a million for joining us tonight. It's been really good, informative, funny, all the usual. But no, it's been really good. So look, I'd like to thank Tino, Matt, Jateen, and Jonathan for joining me tonight. I've been your host, Gav. See you next week. Up the Reds.